Hello and welcome to VChess. My name is Naiditsch. I'm a chess grandmaster. We continue with our educational streams. Let's go with the next 10-minute game. I will be playing as usual 10-minute games, and we will see a lot of different positions, tactical ideas, etc, etc. So let's play game number 1 of today's stream. We have the move e4. Let's go with the move e5. Knight f3, knight on c6. And let's play the Berlin defense. Today, Grand Miner with a first hello. Hello, Grand Miner, how are you doing? Santos, number 2 to say hello. Welcome, Santos. How was your day? d3. Alright, so we have the Berlin with the move d3. Let's go with the move d6. So we play a very solid line here of the Berlin with the move d6. Next, c3 is normal, as well as short castle is normal. Let's go with the move g6 to get out the bishop on g7. All is here as usual. Very normal. HDBM as well with us, and Nayap is also here. Welcome everyone. How was my day? It's alright. Busy day today, but everything is alright. Nothing to complain about. That's already not so bad. So we have the Berlin position. Now we have different plans here. We have the knight h5 plan. We have the knight on d7 plan. We have the a6 plan. a6 is pretty standard, so we are asking the guy, do we want to take on c6? No, he does not. So we proceed with the move b5. Very normal setup. Let's get the bishop to b7. So this is like very typical Spanish-like position with black pieces. We would like to go somewhere as a move d5, but it's not a must. As you can see, we have the move a4 immediately on the board. Usually the answer is to play the move b4 here. After the move a4, a5 with idea bishop on a4. It is making sense, of course. So we have a very normal play. Let's see if I'm able to push immediately the move d5. It's not bad at all to push the move d5, but we have several ideas in this position. Maybe first to play rook to b8, so we have some kind of pressure here on the b file. Let's see what is going to be the next move of our opponent, and then we decide if we go for the move d5, because there will be bishop on a4, and the knight might be hanging. Now he's provoking me too much into the d5 play, but we have e5 hanging, there's c3 hanging, so in theory I think I might be able to play the move d5. It looks also pretty good to play the move d5. There is knight e5, I'm gonna take, he's gonna take, I'm gonna take. What do we have? Quite interesting position. I think it should be decent for black. At least I don't see why it should not be okay for black. So this is definitely something that I can play here. I can play also with a calm move for rook e8, followed by the move d5. Also, this is looking okay, but I think I am able to play d5. Maybe I should take first and then to play the move d5. Is there a difference in these two continuations? Not sure, because it looks like it is more or less the same. So let's maybe take first on c3. Next, we're gonna push the move d5. So in case we get d5 in the right moment, usually black is doing well here. Let's hope it is the right moment for the d5 push. What do we have? HDBM is suggesting our opponent might be able, maybe, but c3 is hanging, so let's see what is going to follow next. I believe this position is looking, by the feeling, very good for black. Usually white should not give such an easy d5, or at least not with the tempo. So I think, by the feeling, again, this position is very complex. As you can see, we can take first on e4. By the way, white will be able to take, then we have the move knight on d4 coming next. We can take, knight takes, bishop, we take, queen takes. No, not good. So we have knight e5, knight takes e5 just to take. d4, there is knight on d5. This looks pretty solid in my opinion, but also to take is looking very solid. So again, take, knight on d4. We just go back in case white is taking. We have the move c5. on the board. So we have to decide to take first on e4 or first on e4 or first on e5. Both is looking like a nice position for black in my opinion. Which one should we play here? This kind of choices are never easy because both of them are looking like two good moves. So what should we do here? I think maybe it is the move D. Let's play this move, or we have some bishop a3 there. Take queen on d5. Feels also like a good position for black. So I think we can take. Let's see if I made the correct calculation. Of course he takes, we take back. Now we have both. We can also take, but I thought that I'm able just to go away here with a bishop to 8. Next move is going to be the move c5. So is there something white can do against the move c5? I thought there is maybe bishop a3, but then we take here in between move. We play the move queen on d5, attacking the pawn on g2, and black is very good. We should always not forget our bishop on g7 in theory. This is a very, very good bishop. So white has to find something. If white finds nothing, we are doing very well here. Maybe even we might be trying to be better. Let's see. For the moment, we have a very normal game, except I think my opponent should not give me this kind of easy d5, because this looks a little bit strange. Welcome everyone to VChess. In case you're new here, we have educational chess content most of the time. So like and subscribe, especially now. Give some likes so the YouTube algorithm will be pushed a little bit. We sacrifice a pawn on e4, but in case the knight goes away, we're going to take the queen, then we're gonna capture the pawn on e4, or we're gonna capture the e4 pawn immediately. So let's see what happens next. For the moment, I think we are doing well, because I don't see where to go with the knight. Not to give up the e4 pawn, this is basically impossible. In case we capture the e4 pawn, we're doing great. So let's see if there is something that I am missing. In case I'm missing nothing, we're doing good. We have the move e5 attacking the knight. Well, I can simply take here, no? What happens in case I take? Also, I have this queen on d5, but I don't like it so much. We have the move knight on d5. This is very interesting move. e5 pawn is falling, or the pawn on c3 is falling. So knight on d5, interesting play. But I think we should just take here on d4. It looks like the right reaction. And now, after he has to take the knight, obviously, we have to think. We have to think, should we take it with a queen or with a bishop? So I don't know why he's thinking now, because there is just one move. This is weird, because it's like when your opponent is thinking and he has just one choice, then you might wonder what is the point of this thinking, because there is nothing else. He has to play this move. He has to take the knight. I don't understand. What is he doing? Maybe he is on the phone with someone. But maybe even being on the phone, you still take the knight. So, we don't know yet what is happening here. Let me read the comments. Do we play against your subscribers? Yes, sometimes I do play. One game per stream I'm playing. When I watch enough of the stream, I will play like it. Not so easy, but you can try it out, yeah. I think that you might get better. So this is the key, that slowly, we should improve in everything we do. And chess is one of those things nobody likes to lose. So let's hope that by watching my streams, you're getting some new ideas eventually. So you might be improving a little bit. And yeah, that would be fantastic. Now, take, he took, yeah, but I don't know why he thought so long. So now we take, of course, with a queen next. I guess he will be taking the pawn on d4, so there is nothing else than to take the pawn on d4. We will be taking the pawn on d4. Now we have this kind of endgame. This endgame is looking like a draw, but maybe we will be able to put some pressure because we're a bit more active. So, will the activity bring us something positive? Let's see. He's not taking the queen. Okay, So he can do something else, but it would be very natural, I think, to take. So this is a little bit confusing. Before he was not taking the knight, there was nothing else. Now he is not taking the queen, and I don't know what else he is capable of doing, but let's see. Let's see, of course, what is going to happen next. So, let's see. Against, usually I am playing against those of you who are VChess supporters. It means you are supporting the chat, you're supporting the channel. For example, HeidiBM is always a great VChess supporter from the very, very early stage of VChess. We had just a couple of people watching, very, very few. So, of course, we are appreciating very much HeidiBM for that, staying with us already for quite a long time. Rook a4 attacking the bishop on d4. Can I push in this position a little bit? Let's see. Let's start maybe with the move bishop c3. We are attacking the rook, and we hope to get the pawn on a5 next. So it's gonna be a little bit of suffering here for white. It's not a draw yet. We can try maybe something. What should we try here to play for a win? Not so easy. I think we should get the rook on the free file. There is this kind of bishop d3, then we can pin it. Is it the correct way? Or should we straight go for the pawn? Because it doesn't look so bad, but there is this kind of bishop h6 coming immediately next. And we have a little bit problems here on the last rank. So not sure. We have to think. We have to consider if this is the right play because of this move bishop on h6 next. So, what else can we do here? I don't think we can do something else. So let's go with the move rook b5, I think. So we try to get the pawn on a5. I understand it's not easy. I understand. Probably it is a draw, but let's fight a little bit. Maybe we will be lucky enough to get at least a little bit of play in the current position. It is a draw again, but let's push a little bit in case we can. Why not to try? This pawn on a5 is a little bit weak, and we are currently doing a little bit more active. So it's a very, very small advantage, obviously, but we can try. Sometimes a small advantage is not so bad. So as we expected, we have this move here on the board. Now we have to think, maybe I should change the bishops, because it feels a little bit dangerous here in the last rank. So let's go the move bishop g7. Still the a5 pawn is under attack, so it's not immediately a draw. He needs to bring the bishop here on this diagonal. Then it's gonna be a draw. Till then, we have a slight chance to win the pawn on a5 because weak pawn plus the problems on the first rank. Who knows, we might get lucky, and maybe now we are lucky enough to cover the second rank, which is already quite an achievement, I believe, or first. Maybe let's go with the move. Is it a good move, by the way? Is it the way to play the current position? We have to think. This move bishop d3 is very irritating. So maybe let's start with the move rook on b2. So the rook is taking quite a nice position for the future. He plays bishop d3. He's not afraid of the pin. I don't know why he is not afraid of the pin, so we are going to pin him here. Next, we have this dangerous bishop on c6 coming somewhere. He brings the rook to the first rank. Yeah, this is normal. Now we play the move bishop on b7, I guess. Let's go. How can I get to the pawn a5? How can I get to the pawn on a5 somehow? Not easy to get to the pawn. Maybe I should try something like rook c8, but still, how can I get to the pawn on a5? I don't know. I don't know how to do that. Okay, I have a little idea here. Let's maybe play this move here. Oh, it was a bad move. It was a horrible move. I completely forgot that there is this check. Again, I made a blunder. Now it's gonna be difficult even to make a draw here. What a blunder by me, but maybe it's still okay for us because king e7 takes. He plays luckily first this because he had rook d7 and takes because I thought I have this bishop c6, but I didn't. So now we are more or less okay because we are able. Okay, we can also play this is also a draw, but I think we should take. Now he will be, of course, taking the pawn on f7. I do see that, but this was unavoidable. So where to put the bishop? Where should we put the bishop? Maybe we should put the bishop to c6. Very, very difficult to win the current position. Yes, it is a draw, but let's see if we get some little chances here. It is a draw, of course, yeah. I played not so well. I should have done better. Yes, position, it was a draw, but I think we could have tried at least to win the game. Now it is just a draw, so there is this bishop g8 also coming next. How can we play this position for a win? I don't think we can. I don't think we can. I think only way to play here for a win is to play the move rook c5. It is little crazy here because we give up on the h7 pawn. But maybe we will get some little chances, so we save the pawn first. He is gonna win the pawn, but my king is very active and I have the active pawn, so I definitely have some compensation. h5, oh, I didn't, that's a checkmate? Oh, I didn't see this move h4 at all. What a blunder again. I'm missing everything. Terrible. This is just terrible that I'm missing everything. Now it is just complete game over, I believe, because there's no way that we can do even something small. Yeah, it is complete game over. No, but I'm missing everything in one move. This is just horrible. This is just horrible, so what can we do here? I think I have to play something like this. Missing all the things just in one move. Unbelievable. I have to play. This is completely lost. So where to put the bishop? Losing again in one move. This is just insane. Blundering. Blundering and blundering. Never stopping to blunder. I have to play this. I have nothing else. Yes, I do see that I am losing the game, but there's nothing I can do. And this is the thing, that it's just completely over. Yeah, we have to resign. Again, losing the first game, playing for a win, a draw position. I mean, to lose this is a joke. One move blunders all the time. Because, okay, obviously we're doing slightly better in this position. And there is just a weak pawn on a5. By the way, who did we play? I'm just curious because he's a title player. But he has no name, yeah. These are always very tricky players, of course. But to lose the current position is unbelievable because we're doing just slightly better. Yes, it is a draw, but there is zero risk of, the risk of losing the same like here. You have no risk of losing this position, and I completely missed the move h4. I didn't see the h4 coming at all, so... of course, this position is still a draw, just king g5, and black is fine. What a blunder, yeah. Terrible. Terrible blunders. What to do? Bad start again. For the second time, I am losing the first game of the stream. What is going on with the first game? So, yeah. Bad start, bad start. Alright, let me read a little bit the chat. So what do we have here in the chat? Let's start, by the way, the second game. But to lose the last game, this was pity because we played a good game. We outplayed the guy. We played d5. Everything was going so well. And yeah, then I don't know what went wrong. This was pity because we managed nicely to outplay him, and then I completely collapsed in a better endgame. What to do, what to do? Let's go with funny move, queen on e2 against the knight of. Let's see what happens. Long castle, this is the idea. And let's push a little bit. So let's see what is going to be the next move of our opponent. He plays the move h6. Okay, let's go back to e3. I think instead of h6, knight e4 would have been the better choice, but also h6 is fine. Alright, in case you're enjoying my comments, please like and subscribe, obviously, to our educational channel here on VChess. We're playing rapid games, we are enjoying the beautiful game of chess, and yes, we might be learning something. Last game was a disaster. To lose a better endgame. What is going on? Not my day today. So, our next moves are to play the move f4, to play the move g4. This is what we would like to play next. Our opponent is considering, I don't know exactly what is he considering. The same like in the last game when our opponent just took a minute to take a knight and he had no other choice. So this is always, I think, a very dangerous sign. I personally don't know what these people are doing meanwhile, because if you have just one choice, you don't do it, it means or somebody else is playing or something is a little bit weird. Knight on c6. This is a strange move because it allows us, for example, to take and to play the move e5, which is quite typical for the current position. So I think we do or this, or we have the move ef4, which is also very, very typical. So I don't know, if I take, I play the move e5, there's knight on d5, we take, bishop takes, bishop, knight on e4. Might be slightly better, but maybe let's go with the move f4, so we have more usual structures here. First, get the king on b1, so safety first, and then let's see what happens next. Queen on c7, as we said, king on b1 is doing well. This is a typical Sicilian play. Get the king on b1, safety first, and then we see what's next. We have the move b5 on the board, but he's provoking me so much into this e5 play. I don't know why is he doing that, because it's so dangerous if I get the move e5, but he does not care about it. I'm wondering why he does not care, because this is so dangerous. Just if somewhere the move e5 is working, it's just game over. So okay, I think I should go with the move e5. It's too much of a provocation. Last time I did not play the move e5. Now we have the second chance to play the move e5, so I'm gonna play it. King is still in the center. Now we can choose between take with the pawn and then play this move bishop on f4, which is interesting, or the simple solution, so we just take and we take. Knight has to be moved somewhere, and next we should try to get out the bishop from f1. Very active play, knight on e4. Should we go with the move bishop d4, or should we take and then maybe queen f2, queen d to get out with the bishop to d3, and maybe we can do something tactical in the current position? Can we do something that might be very unpleasant to our opponent? Not sure, but I think we can try. So let's take, and now maybe we have this move for rook on d4, so we are attacking the queen. In case the queen takes, we have this attacking the rook on a8 idea. So he takes, yes, I think we will go for it. Plus we have this check here. Is it working? Is there a defense for black now against this double threat? Or to take the rook, or we have the move queen on c6. Both is very dangerous, so rook a7. Ooh, what is that? What is that? We have also rook on e4, just taking the rook like an option. Our opponent is risking like crazy by playing the move rook a7. He takes huge risk. So what should we do? Should we just go for the rook on a7? Or should we do something else? Because in case of check, there is this bishop on d7. And this is like maybe holding. Maybe this is holding. So let's go the move rook e4, I guess. And next we will be taking the rook on a7. This might win us an exchange, and of course this would be great to have an exchange up. Still, position is not so easy because there is this bishop pair for black. And bishop pair is very powerful, so we have to be careful. But I think with exchange up, probably white will be doing better. Welcome everyone to Viches. Welcome, welcome. I see Tommy in the chat. Nayap is here. Hadi, of course. Welcome everyone. Queen on c7, so we play as we wanted. We are taking the rook next. We should be careful here because there is this bishop b7, bishop pairs, never easy, so we have to continue playing well here to be better. This is not a simple position. Maybe something very active like rook on g4. Rook is not perfectly placed on g4, this is obvious, but we try to stop black from castling short side. Or in case black castle short side, then we have some kind of attack on the g-file. If this is a good idea, let's see if this is a good idea. What could be the next play by black? I think there is just the short castle, there's nothing else, because without the short castle it's very difficult to play this. Yeah, we have the short castle on the board, and I believe we should develop the bishop, but there is this kind of tricky f5 play, but it's good or bad? Not sure, because we have also this queen on c3 play to provoke the move e5, but also this is like, can be good and can be bad simultaneously. We maybe should play first the move queen on g3 to get this bishop to f6, so we don't have to worry about the move f5. I think this might be not a bad idea, so let's go with the move queen on g3 first, because I'm afraid of this move f5. And this would be very unpleasant. Now there is normal f5, so we are getting out the bishop to d3. Next, we would like to play rook on f1, and we'll be threatening to take on f6. Position is still far from easy, so the bishop pair is so powerful. Bishop on b7, alright. Let's get the rook on f1 as we want it. And is there a defense for black? Now, our rook takes f6 is looking almost deadly. So black has to be very, very careful now. Very, very careful. Looks like not a bad position. I see Bean as well in the chat. Welcome everyone. How is your day going? I hope your day is doing well. We started here with another loss in the game 1. Now I'm starting to lose always the first game of the stream. I don't know why. That's not a great sign. And we have rook on d8, but the idea, in case I take, there is queen on g1 check. So yes, this is of course a good idea, but I'm not gonna take now on f6, so probably I'm able to do something else. What else can we do here? The rook is coming to d4. No, not really. Maybe just a simple move as a3. It's not looking bad. I also have this queen c7 somewhere, but I just don't know when to play the move queen c7. Maybe now it was a good moment. On the other hand, maybe not. a3 is looking safe. This is good. So we have this king a2 somewhere just to escape. Still, the idea of rook takes f6 remains. No changes here so far. We have the idea of queen c7 somewhere in the right moment, and maybe the right moment is going to arrive quite quickly. Let's see what black is going to play next. Rook takes f6. This is the next move of white. If in case there is no good defense against rook takes f6, the game is over. We have h5 on the board. Very creative way to defend from rook f6. Not bad, not bad. Now, we can take, by the way, on f6 take and have this rook takes, because king takes, we have queen c7 check. This is quite beautiful, by the way, but is it the best we can do? There is some kind of rook on d3 line. This looks way trickier than I would want this all to be, so probably we have to do something else. Is there something else, by the way? The rook has not so many squares now. We have this kind of rook b4, but it would be great to do something else. So I think I should put the rook on f4, in my opinion, because still this rook takes f6 is looking very dangerous, and bishop e5 I can counter by playing queen on g5. So he goes away with the king. It's good. We won the first battle. The first battle is won. Now we should execute the next battle, and maybe it's time to try to give a checkmate to the black king, so we can sacrifice. This is going to be a better position for white, but again, to sacrifice something is like, in case it's not a must, it's usually better not to do. So it's not what I want to do, but maybe we have actually a nice idea here. All right, I have a different idea. Let's go with the move queen here on h3. You will see what is the idea of the current move. At the moment, it looks like we are attacking the pawn on h5, and this is of course correct, but this is just one part of our idea. The other part of our idea is to push this move g4. This might be very powerful because I will be opening all the position of black. If we can manage to get g4, queen on c5, good play again by our opponent. Ooh, queen e5 is coming. Queen e5 is unpleasant. This is bad. This is looking very, very scary, this move queen on e5. Can we do something against queen on e5? I'm not sure. I think we will have to give the rook on f6, but maybe I should have given the rook in a better way. Yeah, now it looks all not so easy anymore. Okay, we can still play here the move rook f6. It might be a little better, but not so easy anymore. Okay, I think I should give the rook, because not to give the rook is not looking like the best idea. So we take here on f6, we have this idea g4 next, and we have the idea of queen takes e6 next. So we are still pushing, but maybe I should have given this exchange with the queen on g3. Maybe would have been a better way just to give exchange, and then we had this queen c7 idea. So not the most precise, yeah, not the best execution. Still, we might be doing better. King on f8 is pretty weak. Queen e5. Alright, quite a good play. Now we can return to f1. Still, we are threatening to play the move g4. Let's go with the move g4 next. Let's outpush our opponent, but we have to play now also faster. Sometimes I'm just commenting too much and we are getting into trouble. What is this move? Because we can take and take h5, for example. He's giving us the pawn, but there's also queen e3. Is it not immediately a win? Rook on d4, rook on f4. Let's calculate quickly if it is working. Not sure it is working. Not sure if we are winning. Queen h4, rook on d4. Wow, we cannot win immediately the position. This is amazing, because it has to be a winning position. Rook on e1, is it winning the game? There is still rook on d4. Unreal. We cannot win the position when we have this kind of pin. How is it possible? This is crazy. I think maybe we can, so let's try to win. Let's go with the move queen e3, I think first. Let's go with this one. Maybe it is winning, so we will try. We will try to win the game. This rook f4 is not winning, I think, because f5, and this is not the win. So let's play the move rook e1. Let's give a check now here. This was my idea. And we have this idea of bishop e2 and bishop takes somewhere. He's allowing us to play the move bishop e2, so I think we should continue with our idea. Or should we take first? Maybe let's collect the pawn first, and then we see what happens next. So we can give another check here. I don't know why we need that, but we will have to take at some moment. To take looks very, very good for white. Still, there is just this rook takes d3 like a threat, so we should be able to win the game, I think. Just we have to play a couple of good moves and it's gonna be game over. Now, what should be the good move here? not so easy. It's unbelievable that it's not so easy to win the current position. It looks completely like a game over, but it's not. I think let's play this one, because this kind of check was looking scary, and in case I take on e4, it might be not an easy win. So I think we have the option of playing, but it's not a checkmate. It's crazy. I cannot find a checkmate in this position. This is something super weird, because it should be easily winning, but I just don't see a checkmate. So let me play this move, because I don't see a checkmate. Just don't see it. Let's take back. This was insane that I couldn't find a checkmate. King on d6 looks like a completely winning for white, because we are pawn up, plus we have here the checks coming from every side. Now he cannot take the pawn because we have the move queen on d8. He takes it, okay, but now it's a checkmate, no? It's not a checkmate again. This would be insane. This is just crazy that still not a checkmate. How is it possible? Let's give a check here. That's a checkmate. That's a checkmate, or it's still not a checkmate. So we are continuing with a check. Still no checkmate. This is just incredible. I don't know. I don't know what to do, because this is just incredible, because we had no chance to give a checkmate in a position which looks like a complete game over, and there's just nothing we can do. Nothing we can do to win the game. This is just crazy. F4, also strange move. So little time on the clock. This is the bad thing. Position is still fine, but we have so little time left. He just takes it. Okay, we're gonna take the pawn as well. It should be easily winning position, but I just don't see how to do that. King is on g4. Look at this king. How is it possible to play with a king on g4? But he just does it. Let's give another check. g4. Wow. Wow. What can I say? Except, wow, there's nothing I can say here. Still no checkmate. Come on. How is it possible? No, but this is just insane. I don't understand that. Not to give a checkmate when we have king in the middle, and it was like complete game over, but we could not give a checkmate, and now I'm gonna lose on time. This is just insane. Yeah, we are losing the game, but that's pity. That's pity, because such a nice game again, and we are losing the game. Such a beautiful game we played, and now we are just losing. Oh, queen d4. I could have won the queen and won. This is insane. This is just insane, because yeah, this is incredible. What was going on the chessboard? But I don't know. Something is wrong. Something is wrong, because how not to deliver a checkmate in the middle of the board with a king? This is crazy. We've been also completely winning, obviously, in this position, and yeah, this is pity. Okay, I have to play queen d4, of course, to take here the queen and take the pawn, but no time left, so we would have lost the game in any case. But somewhere here we should just be able to give a checkmate. Yeah, this is very obvious that by the way, I could have played just rook e1. Yes, this would be so easy checkmate. Just take the rook and rook d1. Yeah, just game over. So this is what I wanted to do. but somehow after king e5 I got confused because I thought he's gonna play this or king on d4, because then I take that's pity to lose this kind of game, because again we completely crushed the guy and then we are losing. This is very upsetting, but what to do? What to do? An interesting game in any case, yeah. I hope you enjoy this kind of games. Like and subscribe to our channel VChess. At the moment we have the most unlucky period ever, I think, since the beginning of the stream, because okay, usually we've been winning games against this player so easily, and now suddenly I cannot beat the guy when he has king in the center, plus we are up on material. This is incredible. Unreal, unreal. What to do? What to do? Sometimes this is what is happening. In any case, like and subscribe. There will be better times coming for us. Then you miss a mate. Well, in case I would see a mate, I would definitely give a checkmate. And of course, I've been completely winning. I mean, there is nothing to talk about. You miss simple mate in one. Okay, are you ready to play me? The moment you are, I'm gonna play me, but let's make some bet, because you seem to be a very good player. You see this kind of mates into so quick. I don't, so what to do? What to do? Didn't see the mate in two. Maybe we had, but so quickly it's very, very difficult to find the mates. But of course, the position been completely winning. This is very, very obvious. Let's go with the next game. What to do? What to do? The last game, of course, yeah, we lost 2 games. One just better endgame in the last game. Okay, no words, completely winning. What to do? What to do? Next game we have here this kind of 4 knights position, which is more or less equal. d5 is the typical way to play the current position. We have usually e takes d5 here, or a short castle. Both is normal. So castle, castle. This is a normal play. So let's see. Short castle is a move for white here. Our opponent is considering maybe something else, but there is nothing else, so I don't know. I don't know what is thinking our opponent about here, because there is no other move, I think. Still no play by our opponent. I don't know what he's thinking about. Then we have the short castle, of course, but he had literally no other choice. So let's see what is going to be the next move. Usually h3. This is what is happening in these positions. Then the queen gets to f3. This is a normal play. Our normal play: defend the pawn on d5, just be solid, and yes, it is more or less equal position. By the way, in case you're interested in the story of this line, it is a line of Vladimir Kramnik. He played this line first with a white, and it was looking not so bad back then, a long time ago, maybe 20 years ago. He started first to play this kind of h3 and queen on f3 idea, and people first been not sure what to play. Now, of course, everyone knows you can turn on the engine and position is, of course, equal. But back then, it was tricky. Kramnik won a couple of nice games in this h3, queen on f3. So, let me read the chat. If you want to take a break, we can play against each other while you comment. It's alright, HeidiBM. Thank you, it's alright. Just bad luck, or I don't know, maybe some of the guys are not playing very fair. I don't know, it's always difficult to say. We're playing 10-minute games just to enjoy, Heidi. Result, it doesn't matter. If result would matter, I would play 0 games in 10 minutes like all the other GMs we played so far. 0 GMs, because nobody plays it. 10-minute game, you cannot play a 10-minute game and take it serious, because obviously it's so easy to get assistance. So 10-minute game is excellent, I think, for a stream, because we have a lot of different positions. We are analyzing the games, we try to learn some new ideas, so I think it's just very, very nice for the stream. But in case you go for any kind of result, you cannot play 10-minute game because, yeah, every second guy is getting assistance, so it makes no sense to play for result. And we are here not because of the result, we're here to enjoy the games. Enjoy some nice games and maybe learn something. Couple of ideas here, there. Knight on e2. So for example, this guy is 100% using some assistance. Because in case you don't know the move knight on e2, you're never gonna play the move knight on e2, and he doesn't know it. So he's thinking, then he plays the move knight on e2, and this is the main line. The idea is to play the move f4, knight on g3, knight on h5. In case you don't know this idea, you will never go for this idea. So he doesn't know it and he's going for it, so he just pretends that he is thinking what to do. This is, for example, an easy sign that, yes, this is already not a very fair game, because you cannot play like that and think. So, or you know it and you play it. If you don't know, you don't play it. This is very, very visible. Like an example, of course, again, we don't care. We don't care about this at all. We are here to enjoy, to have some fun, so we don't care. Just like an example, yeah. This is the way you can see immediately when someone is doing something or he's not. We have a nice question here by Thomas. Is there a perfect snack for chess? So we sometimes see Magnus Carlsen drinking something that nobody knows what he's drinking. So this might be a perfect snack, but objectively speaking, I think no. There is no perfect snack. I think to have a cup of coffee during the game might be useful for some players who are used to drink coffee. Some others don't drink. I don't know what is a perfect snack, but I know that, for example, to eat heavy food before the game, this is bad. So it's better to be more light during the game. This is better. Maybe a little bit of chocolate. Maybe, I mean, to drink water, of course, is very, very good. But that there is some perfect combination of drink plus food, I don't think so. I think it's very, very individual, except Magnus Carlsen. So Magnus is doing something. He's not drinking normal stuff. So he might know exactly what needs to be done. But for normal people like me, I have no idea. I think literally no idea. So we have the move knight on f5. Now we have this opposite color position. It's gonna be very, very difficult to win with the black pieces. But let's try. Let's play this opposite color, or should we keep the bishops on the board? Okay, let's keep the bishops on the board for a little while. Maybe we will be able not to take the knight on f5, but it's gonna be difficult because the knight is so strong there. So not to take the knight is not so easy. In theory, we have the ideas like c4, maybe rook on e5, rook on e1, solid. Let's go with the move rook on e5. So in case white takes, obviously this is great. And in case white is not taking, then the knight has to leave this beautiful square on f5. So we'll be doing well. So we have Le Pen. Yes, of course, he can use his time as he wishes. You're absolutely correct in that. No problem in using time. G4. Next, f4 might be a move. So let's go with the move bishop e6. We are going for the move c4. Heidi likes the playlist. So, what do we have here? Bishop e6. We would like to play the move c4. Not so easy to do something against the move c4. What can white do here? Maybe to play c4 by himself would be normal. Now I have this opportunity of playing the move c4, so I think with white I would not give this opportunity to black, because why to give it? Still, It is more or less an equal position, of course, but way to give this opportunity. Now we have this little check here on f5. We will be able to take on f5, but it's still a draw. Yeah. Still just a draw. Very, very difficult to do something here with the black pieces. We have to get to the c3 pawn, but how to get there? Let's try with the move h5, h3. Very solid. Now, should we take? Maybe to take first. And maybe something like a5. So we are trying to use the bishop pair to push a little bit on both sides, but objectively speaking, still it is just a draw, because how to push in a position like this? What can we do here? Maybe to take, so we have at least a little target here on c3. I think this is not a very big target, obviously, but it's a small one. Position remains more or less equal, but I think black is capable eventually maybe to get a little bit better play because of the bishop pair, but objectively it is, of course, still remains a draw. We have rook on d1, rook on d3 with a defense. This is making sense, yes, makes sense. How can we get the pawn on c3? Can we do something to win the pawn? What can we do to win the pawn? I think maybe we should get... I don't know. This kind of move is not really winning because there is rook on d3, and what is the next move for us? Okay, still, probably this is not a bad decision to attack the pawn on c3. And we're gonna see what we can do next, but... of course, still just a draw. This is still just a draw. He gives us the pawn with a check. Why is he doing that? Wow. Okay, so now we are winning by rook a1 and the game is won, but I don't know why he's doing that, because he could have just defended the pawn. So he gives us the pawn with a check. I feel a little bit even unpleasant to win a game like that, because it is not very deserved. He could have gone rook d3 and it would be just a normal play. The game goes on. I don't know. I don't know why he did it. Now we will be taking the bishop on c2. We take the knight, or is it a winning? Because bishop b2 first, he takes, I take. And after bishop b2 we have this bishop takes f5 in case we need it. So this might be a win. Is it a win? Looks like a win, no? I don't see a defense here, so... because we cannot take first. Bishop b2, there is this rook g1 check, so I would be losing again. That's why we have the move bishop on b2, attacking the rook on a1. And it looks just like a piece up. Yeah, this is very sad end for our opponent, because I don't know why, but the position's still been more or less equal. And he just gives us in one move the game. This is just very, very sad for our opponent, completely undeserved. Yeah, it's like beginning of the game, and then suddenly someone blunders. Now we give a check here on c3. Next we're gonna take the knight, and next we're gonna take the pawn, and with it, it is a game over. So let's take. That's it. d4. We keep the pawn. We are going to promote the pawn. We're gonna take the b3 pawn. It is just a piece up. So we are winning. We are winning the game. And once again, I don't know what happened to our opponent before. Just playing the best moves afterwards, not the best moves anymore, and then just blundering piece in one. So a little bit surprising, and of course it's pity because we could not play a game till the end. Alright, let's go with the next game. In case you like my comments, in case you like our content here on VChess, like and subscribe not to miss the streams. We are doing basically educational chess content. I know some of you are focused on the rating, but I told many times that this is not the right focus, because rating doesn't matter. When you're playing 10-minute game online, the percentage of people using some additional help is much way over 50%. So every second game we play, we have somebody using, at least for a little while, the engine. That's why we should not pay attention to the rating, but we should just enjoy the games and try to learn different structures, different games. Now, for example, we have French with the move knight on d2. We will proceed with the move c5. This is one of the main moves, and we take with the queen on d5. This is all theory. Now, black is taking here the pawn. Normally, bishop c4. I have also played a couple of games. This line is not so bad for white. So we go away. Now, usually the main move in this position is the short castle. I think our opponent, he knows this kind of things, so all is still normal. Knight on f6, knight on b3, also this is all normal. Let's proceed with the move queen on c7. We are trying to attack the bishop on c4, and anyway the queen has to leave the square on d6, so knight on c6 is coming next. Bishop b5, very unusual way to play the position. Usually white is not aiming for changes here. So, bishop d7, average, oh, he takes, this is a bad move, this is a bad move. At least knight takes d4, at least try to push a little bit. After taking on d7, it's just completely equal. So, we are taking back with the knight, and this is just an equal play, as you can see. Position is just equal. Knight on b5, not so dangerous now because we have queen c6 or queen on b6, so we can finish our development by playing bishop e7, I think. Next is just short castle, and this kind of 3 versus 2, and we have 4 pawns here. This position is just equal. It's not better, it's not worse. It is just equal, and obviously with white, in case you play this opening, you like to push at least a little bit. So, c3. Let's do the short castle. Let's see what happens next. Just a second. Bishop goes to g5. No, rook e8. This is typical. Let's get the rooks into the game first, and then we see what happens next. So, queen on e2. We can also change here the bishop, which is perfectly okay, or first to play the move h6. Let's see where the bishop is going to go, and now we can put the knight, for example, on d5. Just we have to be careful with this. Knight takes e6 somewhere. Usually it doesn't work, but sometimes it does, so we have to be a little bit careful. Maybe first a6, just to avoid this kind of tricks. And next we have knight on d5 or knight on c5, which is pretty normal, so maybe e5, but this is usually not so good. White is also putting the pieces to the center, so we have quite normal play, I think, now by our opponent, except he didn't want to play for advantage in the opening, which I think is a mistake. Now we have very normal game. I like the move bishop on d6, so eventually we get this knight on d5 without changing the bishops, at least to make the position a little bit more complex. And yeah, let's see what happens next. Oh, thank you very much for the support from What Elo. By the way, support is coming from Luca David. Yeah, thank you very much from What Elo. Does it make sense to actually study openings? To my understanding and belief from Elo, approximately 2000. This is the way where you should go more heavy into openings. Till you're not on the level of 2000, just do a little bit of openings, like very, very little, so it's not your focus, it's maybe, I don't know, 10% of your time spent on chess. And once you are this kind of 2000 player, then slowly you can start with the opening. Before that, it makes, in my opinion, not much sense, because yes, you might spend a lot of time, play great opening, and then you just lose on tactics somewhere. So it's better to invest your time first in the tactics, positional game, and then you go for the openings. So should we go now with a move knight on d5 or just get the rook on d8? Both is looking normal, so maybe let's go with the move knight on d5. I like it. This is what we wanted by playing the move bishop on d6. So we are proceeding with the plan we have. Get the knight on f4. In case of bishop g3, we are going to take the bishop and we damage the structure a little bit. So let's see. What is going to happen next? So, our opponent is playing quickly once again. Very, very quick player. Knight on f4 is coming next. Still, we are, I think, more or less in an equal position, so long term we might be able to put the rook on c8, for example, then to play the move b5, b4. This would be sort of normal approach. Now, as we said, we immediately take the bishop on g3 because we damage the pawn structure, and this kind of damaged pawn structure is going to be very useful for much later, obviously for some endgame, but the endgame is going to arise one day, so b5 is also useful. Not to allow the move c4, so slowly we will be pushing here with the black pieces. It is still just a draw, but maybe step by step we will be pushing. What can white do in these positions? What would be normal? Normal would be okay, usually you should not allow this kind of thing because now black pushes a little bit, but still, just to change the pieces like knight e5, for example, and then you try to bring the king over f1 to e2 in some endgame, and then you try to save the endgame. So this would be something quite usual here to do for white. You have the good knight, so you're not really risking. He's removing his good knight. Why is he doing that? I don't know. So, white to remove the good knight. This is a little bit unusual. Maybe let's bring the rook to the 8, so we have this kind of safe rook on the 8. Next, we will be playing knight on f6. Yes, he brings the knight on e3 because he likes to change the knight on d5, but this is never gonna work because we have the knight of 6 idea. So one knight is gone, the other knight will be taking the place of the previous knight. As well, we might keep both knights on the board. It's not so bad. Maybe let's... Should we do that? Not sure. Not sure if this is good. Maybe to take is not so bad, and to play this knight on b6 idea. So, knight on b6 idea, the knight is getting to c4. Once the knight is on c4, it might get slightly unpleasant already for white, because we have the better pawn structure. So, still, it is very, very far ahead that we are doing better, but we are trying to push a little bit. We need sort of a weakness here. Once we get one weakness in the structure, then we will be doing a little bit better. The knight wants to get c4 or a4. Could be unpleasant. So step by step we are advancing here with the black pieces. Maybe somewhere we have a chance of being a little bit better. Alright, after the current game I will play the usual game against our supporters, and yes, because Luca supported us, I think not the first time. Thank you very much for that. Luca David, in case you like to play a game, please write me your nickname on chess.com and we'll be playing the game, of course, in case you like. So let's see if Luca is going to answer us something and he would like to play the game. Now we have the beautiful knight on c4. Maybe b4, b2 pawn somewhere might be weak. We would like to go the e5 push next, but there is this knight on f5, so maybe it's not the time or it is the time. So we can push, we can play queen d7, there is this queen g4 idea. Not sure. I think it is too early. So let's maybe play first the move queen on d7. We will be dominating the d file and eventually we'll get this e5 move done. Luca David is saying, sure, just let me know your nickname, please. So after the game is done, challenge me, please, 10-minute game, and please let me know what is your account name on chess.com. We have the move b3. Now we will be just going back and we get the knight on d5. Now the pawn on c3 is weak, so finally we have a weakness here in the structure of white. So quite nice because we waited very, very long that white is going to show some little bit of weakness here, and knight on d5 coming next, rook c8 is coming next. finally we will be putting pressure. And this is usually what is happening in these positions. You must be very, very patient. You should not make weaknesses, because after you do some weaknesses, yes, you are suffering. So here comes a weakness. Knight on d5, rook c8, queen c7. This is what we will play during the next couple of moves. And yeah, it's not gonna be an easy defense now for our opponent. We might even enter this endgame, but I think it's not the time. So let's put the direct pressure on the pawn on c3. Not so easy to defend a pawn on c3. Let's see if we are able to get it, to get the pawn. Slowly, slowly again. Still, it's gonna take a long time to get the pawn. This is not a procedure of couple of moves. This is going to be a long procedure here. We have to be very, very patient to be able to win the pawn. I think he has to defend the pawn with the rook. Doesn't feel so good, of course, to put the rook to a passive position, but I don't think there is something better. So most probably this will be played. Then we have to decide to put the rook on c8 or to play rook on d5, followed by the move queen on d6. No, he's giving us the pawn on c3 in hope to sacrifice the knight on f7. It's a nice trick. This is a nice trick, of course. I think we should be able to defend from the trick. Okay, at the moment nothing, of course, is hanging, so we don't need to defend, but we would like to win the pawn on c3. So we can play simple move like rook on c6, not looking bad because we would like to go f6 somewhere, but maybe the move f6 is even working right now. Then we're gonna play the move e5, it's not looking bad. So should we proceed with the move f6? It weakens a little bit our structure, so not ideal case. Not an ideal case. What could be an ideal case in the current position? Maybe really the move rook d6 is not looking bad. Let's go with the move rook d6. Feels so safe. We are getting ready to play the move f6. Still, the pawn might be hanging on c3. Knight on d7 could be an idea, because then we're gonna dominate the d file. And once we dominate the d file, yes, we are doing better. So step by step, we have to show here great patience. Not easy, of course. It's a big fight for the pawn on c3. We have the move queen on f3. Now, no checks yet. To make f6, this we can do as well later, I believe. So we have to show again patience. Let's show great patience. Rook on d5, attacking the knight on e5, and maybe we will be dominating the d file, for example, like one way of playing. Second way of playing is the move knight on d7. Third way to play is the move f6. Then we have also rook c5. So we have many different options that we'll be choosing next. Queen on e3. Still very difficult somehow to make a decisive blow to the position of white. Maybe we play the move queen on c5, because I think this endgame is looking like a better endgame now for black. Yes, it is very small, very small, of course, everything, but step by step we are trying to get to the c3 pawn. Now, is there queen f4? Is it possible to play the move queen f4? Because we have f6. And I don't know. There's some kind of knight on g4, some sacrifices left and right. I don't know if I should do that, because it looks a little bit suspicious, I believe. Maybe I can do that. I don't know. It might be a very good move, obviously, because if there is nothing, we're doing just so well with black. But if there is something, then you feel that this is just a horrible mistake. So I think it's a bit too early still for that. But otherwise, there is a move c4 coming. This is a problem. He's provoking me so much to play the move f6, so I will get provoked. Okay. After such a provocation, I cannot handle that any longer, and I'm playing the move f6 because I will go with the move e5 next. And, well, it looks like a good position for black. Maybe there are some sacrifices. Yes, this might be... Oh, I thought knight g4 is the best way to play, because if you go back, then black is simply better. We have here this beautiful structure, especially the pawn on e5 versus a knight on f3. The knight is dead, so he should have gone knight g4. I've been only worried about the move knight on g4. Then I don't know what I would play. Maybe I would have played something like king f7, but also this is not so easy. Now, after the move e5, the knight is very, very bad on f3, so obviously we are doing now better with the black pieces. Yes, it's far from over, but we are doing better. So, step by step. Now, endgame. Okay, this endgame is better for black. The knight is just so bad on f3. Next stage, we should get to the c3 pawn. Let's get first the king a little bit to the center. Never a bad idea. Next, we should get to the c3 pawn. Maybe rook on c5, followed the idea knight on d5. And we have here c3 pawn hanging and the rook on e3. So we have a double idea. Is there a way to defend the current position with white? It's getting step by step more and more difficult to defend the position. Still, it's not over, but white is under heavy pressure. He decides to give me the pawn. Obviously, we will be taking the pawn, so let's maybe take with the rook, so we get the rook to the second rank. Knight is taking beautiful position here. And we don't care, I think, about the pawn g7. This is not so important. So we can simply, we can play rook c2 or give a check, and then to play the move rook on c2, both is looking good. So we check, we're gonna take the pawn on a2, or can we do even something better? No. To take the pawn should be enough to win the game. The king is just not perfectly placed there. Knight is getting to d3. It is just way too many threats to defend from all. The pawn is walking, so this is looking like a game over. Still, we have to be accurate, of course, to win the game, but let's hope we are. So let's just take the pawn. We take here, and here comes an important moment to win the game. Of course, we can win the game many different ways, but this is the most simple one. I think for all the rook and games, nice thing to be remembered. Just get your rook behind the pawn and push, push, push. G4. Oh, of course I missed the move g4. Yeah, this is terrible that I'm missing all this one movers. Okay, let's go back. We're still winning, but this was just so bad because I didn't see the g5 coming. Okay, now we're back and we're playing here basically a pawn endgame with unlimited amount of moves with a rook. This is why we're easily winning when you have the pawn behind, when you have the rook behind the pawn. There's no way to save the game, so let's play this. Let's move forward. We're defending the pawn. We're eating, and let's go forward. Let's go here. As you can see, slowly, slowly, this pawn is going to be a queen, so there's nothing that white is capable of doing. So here it ends. Step by step, we had this kind of equal position, then step by step we managed to get the c3 pawn weak, and finally we're winning the game by winning the pawn on c3. Okay, Luka David, let's go. Let's go with the next game. Luka, chess player, I think this is you, or it's not you. Let me see what Luka David said as, what's his nickname here? Luka David is... What is his nickname on chess.com? But I think it should be Luka chess player. This should be him. So let's go. 10-minute game. We have Luka David playing with the white pieces. We're black. Let's go with a Caro-Kann defense. So... Oh, we are playing somebody else. I see now in the chat. Okay, next game I play you. What to do? You didn't tell me your account name, waiting so long. It's Luka David on YouTube. Okay, next game then. Because it was Luka chess player challenging me. I thought it's you. Okay, sorry for that. The next game goes to you. Okay, so let's play the isolated pawn position. Because we're playing Luka chess player. I thought this is you, but yeah. We see that this is not you. Okay, we have the move bishop on b5. Good play, bishop d7. All is pretty standard here. This position is slightly better for white, but not so much. So we have a very, very normal game. Our opponent is taking his time. Maybe he's considering... I'm not sure what he was considering, so maybe, I don't know, take with a queen or take with a knight. Maybe let's take with the queen to have a little bit more fighting position. So we're taking with the queen. I do see there is this knight on e5, but I would like to take. No, he doesn't play the move knight e5. I think he should have played the move knight on e5. Because now he will not get the second chance to do that. We have the move knight on c6, now avoiding the move knight on e5. He should have gone knight on e5. So, I will be playing double Luka. First, now we're playing the Luka chess player. And next game we're gonna play against Luka David. Luka David on YouTube is the name, now we know it. Okay, there is short castle, next rook on d8 and rook on c8. We will be playing against the isolated pawn on d4. And usually, what is the idea in case you play against the isolated pawn? So what is the strategic idea here for black? The strategic idea playing against isolated pawn, we try to change as many pieces as we can, and then we have this kind of double rooks against, for example, rook of white. We'll be putting the rooks on the d file, and in case white is putting the rooks on the d file, we'll play the move e5 and we're gonna have something more. So this is the basic idea of playing for a win against isolated pawn. Now we have the move knight on e5, so we're gonna take the knight on e5. Maybe he wants to take with a pawn, but still, this is going to be a slightly better position for... No, he doesn't. Oh, he doesn't. I have to interrupt my speech because of this rook takes e5. Okay, I think he should have taken with a pawn. Now we just take c3, and you will see we will be pushing again the pawn on c3 like crazy. So, boom. Here we go. Rook on c8. We're pushing again the pawn on c3. By the way, for those of you who are always here, for example, Heidi BM, Solomon, etc., we had usually at least 3-4 booms per day. This is when I'm pushing the F button because our opponent is missing some tactic. In the last games, our opponents are missing zero tactics. Unbelievable what is going on. Today morning already in the stream, almost no one. I could push no F button because nobody's missing nothing. I don't know how our opponents improved this much over a day. Because usually, yeah, we had at least a couple of moments when we've been pushing the F button, but now, no more F button here, and every game is so difficult. So we are attacking now the rook on e5. I do see he would like to play the move rook h5, but then we play the simple move g6. All right, g6. Now the rook has to go on h3. Not a perfect square for the rook, to be honest. Now we're gonna double on the c file. Or are we gonna play the move queen on d5? Is also looking very, very nice. Beautiful queen here on d5. Pawn on c3 is going to be weak forever. So we will be slowly pushing against the pawn on c3. So let me read the chat a little bit. Lucas sees his opportunity well. Yeah. But again, I'm always trying to play one game per stream against one of you who are true VChess supporters. But we're trying to build here a beautiful community, and it's not about donations, it's about your support to the community. So, queen on e3, one mover. We're defending from this one mover. Bishop on g7. As Grandmaster Guffelt was saying, till my bishop on g7 is alive, I will never die. So, a real King's Indian spirit. Bishop on g7. No checkmate. No checkmate. Till my bishop on g7 is alive. Next, let's checkmate to the c3 pawn in case we can. Slowly, slowly, we should be able here to do something against the c3 pawn. So, rook on queen on g3. I think the idea is to play queen on h4, but still I have this move h5 to give a checkmate in this position. This is a very ambitious plan by our opponent. Maybe we can play even simple queen e4, but then there is this bishop on d2. What can we do in this position to win the game? I think we should just move the rook somewhere. Feels good. We have the move e5 somewhere. Also feels not like a bad idea, but maybe rook e8 followed with the move e5, maybe e5 immediately. I have some kind of rook on c3 maybe also, but I'm not so sure that this is working. So I don't think I'm gonna play it because it looks a little bit dangerous and we missed so many already chances in this position, but maybe I'm winning with this move. So take, we have bishop takes d4, and then to win the rook on a1 might be working. Is it working? Is it working? Let me know in the chat. Would you take the pawn, or would you just play this kind of solid rook e8 and just e5 because it doesn't matter, we're doing just so well. So we should not take the risk. Every time we sacrifice something, it might be a big risk, because in case we miss some idea by white, we will just get crushed. So I don't know. To take or not to take both is looking very good because we are doing well. So there is rook e8 with the idea e5, and obviously this is a better position. So there is no risk, there is no nothing involved. Now, in case we take rook on c3, queen takes c3, bishop takes d4. Yes, we take the rook on a1, but there might be some tricks. Let me calculate this kind of idea. Is it really working? Because, okay, if we can, we should show some balls and take on c3. Let's calculate. Rook takes, queen takes, bishop takes. Where the queen can go from c3? There is something that he can do to pin, but endgame should be winning. Here is no checkmate. Queen d2 we take. Then there is this checkmate on d1. I don't know. I think it is a win. Let's go. Let's go with the move rook c3 and bishop takes d4. So we are winning now the rook on a1. Is there something our opponent is capable of doing here? Not to just give up. This plan of rook h3, very, very suspicious. So our opponent is not playing the right strategical game. Rook on h3, just not the right place to be. To give a checkmate to the black king when I have the bishop on g7, this is like, no way, no way. No way, Jose. So, what can be done now by white? Is there some tricky way for white to play the current position? There might be something. So, queen e1 does not work. By the way, queen e1 was nice. Take a look. Queen e1. I would take. There is bishop on a3, and then I play rook d8. So the bishop cannot be taken because of queen d1 checkmate. So this would be quite nice in my opinion. Queen on b3. We can enter the endgame, which is looking winning, but we can also just take the rook, which is also looking winning. So why not to take the rook? We won the game by playing this rook takes c3. But you must be very, very careful. You have to be careful with moves like rook takes c3. So let me read the chat, what we have here. Don't smash the F button. The F button, I haven't been smashing the F button already for so long because we just don't get a chance to do that. I am getting crushed here left and right. I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened, how we are getting crushed. again and again, but this time I think we are winning the current game. So this time it's gonna be rook on d1. This is a checkmate, and there is no defense against rook on d1. We are winning. Okay, this at least without major adventures. So step by step, we managed to win the game. Luca, let's go. Luca on YouTube. Now I'll be waiting for you. So this other tricky Luca chess player, he sneaked inside our stream by having the same name. Luca the chess player, please look at David on YouTube. The correct name. Let's go. Challenge me, please. 10-minute game. Let's go. Solomon is writing in the chat, queen d3 doesn't really do anything because our queen is defended. Yes, that's correct, Solomon. We had a defended queen on d5, yes. We see a nice question in the chat. Are you actually a captain? Yes, of course, of course. Yes, I am the grand captain. Look at David on YouTube. I don't see your challenge. Can you please challenge me on chess.com? Because I don't see your challenge at the moment. Please challenge that 10-minute game. For those of you who are new to VChess, we have educational streams here. Like and subscribe not to miss the next stream. We have non-stop action on the chessboard, positional ideas, tactical battles. We have it all. So, still no challenge by Luca. David on YouTube, where are you, man? We are waiting for your challenge. Where are you? Now here you are. Here you are. We will be starting the game. By the way, we have an interruption with the music. So let's go. Let's go to have some music as well. We are white against Luca David. Let's go here with a move d4. Let's start the game. d5. Knight on f3. Classical play. Next, we will go with the move c4. Bishop on f5. Ooh, this is a tricky opening. We can still go with the move c4, or we have a more careful move order here. For example, to start with the move bishop f4. So we have this kind of London, but now we have the bishop f5 move on the board. So this is possible. The second solution is to play the move e3 because there is no more bishop g4 lines, so we might enter a slightly better move order of positions with the move e3. So let's go with the move e3 and the move b3. These positions are way trickier than they are looking because the bishop is on f5. You will see, to have the bishop on f5, on one hand, it's very good bishop. On the other hand, it's not a perfect bishop. So let's go with the move knight on d2, and next we will be going to the center, knight on e5, and this is where you will see that bishop on f5 can be very, very good, but there are some downsides. Let's go immediately with the move h4. Very, very tricky play because we would like to push now the move g4. Since the bishop is on f5, we have this kind of options like the move h4. Is it the best option? No, it's not. It is for sure not the best, but we're getting some kind of crazy play, and I think it's going to be a very, very interesting game. So the move h4 is possible. Now c5, good move I think by Luca because he's trying to get immediately some counterplay. This is perfect, but the question is, what is happening after the move g4? We would like to catch the bishop. I think there is only one way to survive. It is to take on e5 with the bishop, because in case we take with the pawn, then bishop takes on g4. So this would be very unclear position. Maybe we should take first on d7, because in case knight takes, we have the move g4. This is looking pretty nice. So let's execute. We are taking on d7. In case knight takes, we have the move g4. In case queen takes, we are going to take on c5, bishop takes, and then we take on f6, gf, and g4. So this is what I've been aiming for. We have the move g4, we play the move g4. The bishop has almost no squares to go. So, where to go with a bishop from f5? In case of bishop g6, there is the move h5. Bishop is sort of trapped. So this kind of opening with the move e3 is not so bad. You play e3 and b3 against the bishop on f5. For those of you who are playing this kind of structures, I think it's not a bad idea to try to play something like this with the white. F, boom, boom, boom. Well, no, it's not an F because it's by far not easy yet. Bishop e4, I think this is the best defense. And it's not easy, because in case I place a move f3 to catch the bishop, then maybe I will be f'd. Because f3, f5, and in case I take here, there is this bishop g3 check, king e2, and fe, and I think my king is f'd. I cannot do that. So it's not the time for an f push, because I'm maybe a little better, but maybe I'm not. I think it's definitely not the time to push the f. I think I have to take now on e4, I don't have something better. I cannot catch the bishop, but now we are maybe doing a little better because of the bishop pair. So still, very, very interesting game ahead of us. Let's go with the move bishop g2. This feels good. We're attacking the pawn on e4, and simultaneously we're getting the bishop out. So this is looking normal. So I see HDBM. Imagine you would be f'd there with a checkmate, bishop g3 f5. Can you imagine? You're pushing the f and then maybe you are getting checkmated. This would be so humiliating. But alright, the game goes on. Let's play some good chess. I think we should take here with a bishop. Maybe we should do something else, but I don't think we can. To take with the bishop on d4, not sure. So I think we should be taking on e4 now. The bishop, the pawn on d4 is still hanging, and we have here the bishop on d6. We have a question by Max Burkhardt. If I could trap, yes, I could. This is what I've been talking about. There is bishop g3 check and a 5 move for black. I will show you after the game. After the game, we're gonna check this moment because I think maybe I could trap, but it was looking far from easy. So we're gonna check on that. For the moment, Luca David on YouTube is playing extremely good game. Bishop on b4, getting away from the d file. Looks also like a good play by black. Next, we can play the move king f1 or king on e2. I don't know where is the king better positioned. Both is looking normal. Maybe let's go with the move king on e2, because is there a way for black to, for example, not get into the endgame? Because endgames are much better for white. The position remains insane. I don't know who is doing better. Probably to have the bishop pair is not so bad. So maybe we are doing better, but a huge fight by Luca David on YouTube. He takes the pawn. Wow. Is it possible to play the move queen on d4? There is this queen f6, which saves the game. Amazing. Amazing that black is still doing fine here, because it looks like we have this kind of nice position with a lot of different options, and still we cannot do something instant. So I think I should just take, because I don't know what else. Maybe queen on d3, but this is looking so tricky. Yes, we get the pawn on h7 probably. We have this h5 push, but I'm not so sure. Maybe it's just better to take the pawn on e3. Position is very, very interesting. Hard to say who is doing better. In case we get the endgame, then white will be doing much better. But till the endgame, there is still a far way to go. We would like to play the move queen on d3 next, attacking the pawn on h7. With black, black has to play here maybe something like this, maybe this, maybe queen c7. I don't know if it works because we have this queen on d4. So Knight on c5. Good play by our opponent. I think I should be moving my queen because I don't see something else. So endgame is good, but in case I take immediately here, the problem is that there is rook taking and I have to play bishop d3 to avoid this rook on d2. This is not enough, so let me play the move bishop on f3. Next move queen on d4 is coming. So we are very close to get an endgame. In case black queen moves somewhere, I think we have the move queen on d4. Rook on c8. Wow, great play again by our opponent, but this is unbelievable good play. How is it possible to play like this? Wow, because knight on b3 is the idea. Amazing. Very good play by our opponent. I think I have to play the move c3, but I'm not sure that I'm better. This is unbelievable. I play the move c3, bishop a5, b4. I still don't win because of the queen d1 and then knight on a4. Wow. But I think I might be doing better, so I should go with the move c3, I think. Or I can take first and then to play the move c3, but it's by far not winning yet, so I think I will be changing first. And then I will be proceeding with the move c3, but very good game by Luca David on YouTube. I will be playing the move c3, but there is this knight on d3. I take, rook c1. Yes, it is better for white, so I will be playing the move c3. We still have this bishop pair, so endgame. Endgame bishop pair should be better. But things are far from easy still, because there is bishop a5, and I think I can play the move b4, but there is knight a4. Is it better for white? Yes, maybe, but maybe not. So I don't think I should play the move b4. I should play the move rook on d1. So we have this kind of long-term strategy endgame, and we try to be a little bit better in the endgame. So maybe we will be doing a little bit better in the endgame. Let's see, but huge fight here. I think I had to play the move c3 because the problem that in case I do something else, there is a knight takes b3, I take, and then there is this check on c2, so I had to move the c3 pawn. I didn't see something else. Maybe there was something else, but I didn't see it. So with the move c3, I defended from all the tricks, and I'm aiming for a better endgame. Bishop takes c3. This is strange. What is happening here? I take it. What is the idea? What is going on? Such a good game by Luca David, and then he takes on c3. Why is he taking on c3? Knight on b3, but this is not the best. No, this is quite a big mistake actually, because there will be no escape in this position. This is a heavy mistake by black to give a piece like this. I think bishop a5, it would be just a normal game. Yes, it's worse, but it would be just a normal game. Now white is winning. I can simply take, and this is winning, but I think I can play the move for rook on d1. So I don't give up on the bishop on c3. It's gonna be take, and yes, bishop pair. So powerful. Even if we would not have the bishop pair, it will be a win. With a bishop pair, there is no way to save the game for black. So a little bit strange. Maybe he thought he's losing the piece in any case, but he was not, and before he played just a great game. So I've been expecting that the game is going to be very hard. Now it's gonna be pretty easy here because the advantage of weight is just overwhelming. No chance here to survive the game. Bishop pair, too strong. Bishop pair is just too strong. We are able, for example, to take the knight next, and then well, I think b6 is sort of forced, because now we simply take, we get the rook here, attacking the pawn, next move, this, then we get the king to c4, and basically it's game over. Maybe to get the rook on b7, even more simple. We will stop the pawn easily with our king, so it's not dangerous. There is no escape here for black any longer, but before, fantastic game by black. And I will show you the place where I think it was Solomon, it was HDBM. They wanted to win the piece, but I think it was just not working. So, let's see. What is going to happen next here? I think next I will be putting my rook to b7 and getting my king to the c file. It should be a game over. The a pawn is falling and I will be walking. Are there any kind of chances here for black to fight? Doesn't look like that. The pawn is falling. There is not gonna be an escape in the current position. So we are doing very, very well. In case, by the way, you like my comments, you like our educational channel, please consider liking and subscribing. To VChess, we have great plans, and not so long ago, we started, I remember, I've been playing, maybe 10 people been watching in total, but now, slowly, we are getting VChess to a great chess community. We have already a couple of people that are always with us. Thank you very much for that, for the support. The game goes on, but bishop more is enough in most of the cases to win the game. So, next a4, king b4, a5, and it is going to be game over. Yes, game over. All in all, good game. Good game, Luca, David. Thank you for the game. So, let's go back. We have this kind of very tricky opening. So after bishop on f5, we have this kind of b3 opening, because usually against b3 opening, it's better for black to have the bishop on c8 and just to play the move e6, or to have the bishop on g4. Now we play this b3 stuff because we have this knight e5 and the h4 idea. Is this the best idea? No, but it leads to crazy play. Now we have the move c5, not bad, but it looks like knight d7 wins the game, because I saw it in case of queen takes. I'm gonna take. I'm gonna take on f6, and I saw g4. That's it, because there's no bishop e4. We're gonna take. The queen is hanging. And in case of bishop g6, obviously h5, we are winning the bishop. So I thought that's game over, basically. Knight d7, the best move. And now, can we play the move f3? So HDBM been asking about it. Solomon, I think, asked. Someone else also asked. I think it was, who was it? Tommy been asking, I think, or it was somebody else. Okay, doesn't matter. A lot of people been asking what happens after f3. If I should push the f on the keyboard, it means that we have some kind of boom. After f, we have this kind of pieces falling. f3. I thought that, alright, I play the move f3, and now we have bishop g3 and f5, or f5 immediately. And what I'm gonna do after the move f5? This is a very serious question. So yes, the bishop is trapped, but is it a better position for white? I'm not so sure, because there is this bishop on g3 coming next. And how can I take the bishop? So for example, in case I take bishop g3, king e2 and fe, I'm just getting checkmated here. So I'm not the one who pushed the f, I'm getting f'd in the current position. Would you imagine being checkmated like this? This would be a disaster to get a checkmate with bishop g3 and f5. By the way, Luca, David, did you see this line, or how you went for this line? Just your thought process. I'm interested. You saw the line, because it's so difficult to find the move f5. How do you see the move f5? how to see the move f5 from far away. Yes, I saw the move f5 once I reached the position, but to see f5 from far away, it is very, very impressive. I don't know how you did this. You just saw bishop g3. Alright, but just bishop g3 would be not enough, because now we are winning the bishop on e4. So this is not enough. You have to see the move f5. This is the crucial play, because I was not sure how to win the position with white now. I cannot take the bishop. There is this kind of fg coming next. There is f4 coming next. There is c takes d4 coming next. This would be such a tough position to play. And I thought, no, better I don't do that. So, alright. We have Grand Minor, GM Naiditsch. What should I play against the Vienna Gambit? I'm struggling against it. Which move order? Tell me the move order, Grand Minor. Which move order exactly? It's all about the move orders. So, alright, interesting game. Let's go with the next 10-minute game against a random opponent. I pushed the 10 minutes. So, let's see who is going to be the next one. Grand Minor, please write down exactly the move order, because Vienna Gambit can be different move orders. So, please give us a very precise move order. HDBM, that's why I always get effed. HDBM is actually a good player. He's a very good player. We played already a couple of games here. HDBM is a very, very good player. Bishop on b5. We play the Spanish opening. Now we have the Berlin. So let's go. Let's go for the Berlin. Short castle. Takes. Which line should we choose? Should we choose the main line? Let's go for the main endgame. d4. Knight on d6 is the main move for black. Our opponent is considering something else, or he is sleeping, and we don't know yet. Okay, so we have the main line of the Berlin, and let me play the move c4. c4 is quite rare, and actually it's quite a tricky line, the move c4. So, do we have Grand Minor with the move order, or I have missed it? So, I don't know. I don't see the Grand Minor's move order. Not yet in the chat. So, we play the move c4. Why do we play the move c4? Because usually the idea for black here very often is to play this bishop e6, bishop d5. So now there will be no more bishop e6 and bishop on d5. Tricky move c4. Maybe we would like to go knight on c3 next. Now there might be this kind of bishop g4, but we have knight on g5, so not yet dangerous. Let's get the piece out. Knight on c3. Let's see where the bishop is going to go from c8. In case of bishop e6, we have the move b3. So we're defending the pawn on c4. In case of bishop on g4, we have the move knight on g5. So not yet dangerous. Grand Minor is saying e4, e5, knight c3, knight f6, and f4. Usually you play this move order d5. d5 is the right play for black. It is okay. Of course, the lines are very, very sharp, but d5 is perfectly okay. So Grand Minor, but you can also start with different move. Grand Minor, e4, e5, knight on c3. Start with the move knight on c6. Because then you'll avoid all the tricky lines with the move f4. There is no reason to start with the move knight f6. Go over the move order knight on c6. So it's gonna be alright. Let's come back to the game. We have the bishop on e6 and we have the knight on g6. Now, can I go with the move knight on g5? Knight takes on e5. I have this rook on e1, and is it good? Is it bad? Is it good? Is it bad? It should be good. I think it should be the right way to play here. So let's go knight on g5. If we get the bishop on e6, it's gonna be slightly better endgame for white. So this is what we would like to reach. Thank you, Luca, for the support. Thanks. Luca is saying thanks for the game. I will have dinner with family now. Good dinner, good appetite. Luca, enjoy the dinner. Thank you for the support. Now, knight on g5. we have knight takes e6 eventually with a slightly better pawn structure. So, important thing for those of you who are playing this kind of Berlin endgames. In Berlin endgame, we should never give up this bishop e6 so easily. Don't give up on the bishop. Hold on your bishop as long as you can. We have bishop on c5. What is the point of this move? In case I go knight e4 with a tempo, where bishop wants to go, no idea. Knight e4. Knight on e4, attacking the bishop on c5 because just, I don't know what is gonna happen next. Way to play bishop on c5 to give me a full tempo. What is the sense of that? Maybe there's something that I'm missing, but what is the idea of this very unusual play? I don't know. I literally don't know why to give me a tempo. Maybe some of you can explain me why to give a tempo. I have no idea. So let's proceed with the move f4 because he gave me now so many tempos. I have the knight on g5, I have the knight on e4. There is somewhere rook on d1 coming with a check. So I might be able to play the move f4 followed by f5 next. Is it good? Is it bad? Looks very good. I still don't get the point of this bishop on c5 with just letting my knight on e4 with a tempo. I don't know. h6. So next we can take and just be better. So why not to take? Obviously we take. Idea should be to play somewhere the move f5. This is our main idea. How can we get to the move f5? If we play f5 immediately, he takes here, we take e6. This looks like a very good position for white, I think. So maybe it's time to play the move f5. On the other hand, why not to get the bishop first into the game? And then we're gonna play the move f5. So both is making sense. I think I will play the move bishop e3. I like to get my pieces first into the game, then we're gonna aim for the f5 idea. We can support it by playing the move g4. So I think I have a very, very beautiful position here with the white pieces. We are doing well. Let's see what we have in the chat. Hadi BM is very active. Hadi, you are the most active guy in the chat for sure. Hadi BM, the most active guy. Now, let's go first with the move rook f3 with the idea eventually get the rook to g3 in case we can. This should be very, very good in case we get the rook to g3. Here, pressure. Maybe next we would like to play the move rook f1 and finally get this move f5. Maybe we should aim for knight on c5 or bishop on c5, which is also looking like a better position for white, so we're doing very well. Currently we have a great position here, to my understanding. Knight on h4, I'm ready for that with the move rook h3. Of course we don't play rook to g3 because there is knight f5, it would be a fork. So, no fork. King on e8. Whoa. Is there knight on c5? Just trying to attack the pawn. Take. Rook on takes f4. We have the move g3. And I think we have this check here on f3. No idea if this is working. So let's go with the move rook f1 first. So we get what we wanted. We have this rook on f1. We're getting ready to push. And now I think there is a move knight on c5. This should be working. We have also bishop c5, by the way, not so bad. We have this kind of knight f6 move also looking better, but it is just too tempting to play the move knight on c5. He has here, we take. This is okay. So let's go with the move knight on c5. I don't see how to defend the pawn on e6 next. It looks like he's taking. What is the idea? Knight is under attack and the rook is under attack. Our opponent is missing, I think, that rook is hanging on f8. That's why I played the move rook f1, so we are defending the pawn on f4. And now, after the move bishop on c5, it becomes, I think, almost impossible to not to resign instantly here. we have the move knight f5, so our opponent continues playing a position being full exchange down. Well, of course, it's his right to play this kind of positions, but to come back from this kind of position is almost impossible. We play the move g4, next is coming f5 or g5, we can choose. And I think that's it. That's it, because there is no comeback, we have exchange more. Knight would like to give me a check here on e2, but it's not very dangerous, so we can play the move g5, but then the knight goes back. I don't like it, so let's go with the move f5. We are having this exchange up position. It would be not too late to blunder something with the move rook to d3, and we would get this check and lose the rook on d3. Let's hope I will not blunder it. Next, should we get the king closer, or should I just put my king to h1? Both is looking completely winning, so I don't know. Let's put the king to h1. There are no checks, there is no nothing. We would like to take or to play the move f6 depending on the next move of our opponent. So it's basically game over. Only a very heavy blunder by me can save the game. So let's hope I will be not blundering something very heavy. Let's proceed maybe with a move rook f3. This is looking like an easy win because I get to play the move rook f2 next. Also to play f6 is looking like an easy win. Also to take is looking like an easy win, by the way. So we have all the possible wins. How should we win the game in the safest way? I believe it is just to play the move rook f3 because we have this rook f2 idea next. And there is no escape here. There will be no escape here for our opponent. That's it. We will be winning the game in just, I think, a couple of moves from now. Rook on f3. F takes e6 is possible. Rook f2, like the defense line. f6, fe. In case he takes, we have, for example, rook on d1. Then we're gonna get the rook on d8, for example, then f6, f7, etc. But I like to play the move first. Maybe even rook f2 just for fun, because it feels good. Or no fun. No fun today. Okay, let's go with the move for rook on f2. It feels so good. He's pinned. So I don't know. I don't know what to play here with black because it looks just hopeless. a5. I think we have now a winning continuation here. Probably we have many winning continuations to be precise, but we have an easy win. And it is to play the move rook on e1. So there is this check on g3. But now obviously we're playing just the move king on g2. And he is going to lose the knight on g3. So king on g2. And it is resignation. I think that's it from the current game. By the way, in case you like my comments, you enjoy our channel VChess, please like and subscribe to VChess not to miss the streams and our... By the way, we have excellent shorts. I don't know why many of you are not watching our shorts. It's good. Some nice endgame puzzles every day just to keep you warm. You have to pay attention to our shorts, I think. We have quite nice shorts. We have a question by Tommy. Have you ever played against Karpov or Kasparov? No, I've been too young. Tommy, I'm only 40. So the moment I get not so bad, it was already too late for me. I could not play Kasparov. I played, I think, Karpov in a blitz game, but not classical. So I think only classical is important. So I didn't face them in classical chess. Way too young. Okay, that's it for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed. We had quite funny games. Not very successful, but What to do? Sometimes it is the way it goes. We try to fight. Sometimes we've been lucky. Sometimes we had bad luck. That's the way it goes. I hope to see you all tomorrow for the morning or for the evening stream. It's very good to see that we are building here a great chess community. Thank you very much for that. That you're active, you're participating. That's great. That's great. And again, I hope my streams are making you feel at least that you're getting better somewhere. We're checking a lot of different positions, I think. Many tactical ideas. So I hope that eventually in your own games, now I want to niece. Now eventually in your games you will be able to use a couple of the ideas from the streams, yeah. So thank you once again for being here with us on VChess. I hope to see you tomorrow for the morning stream. And wishing you all great day, great evening, great morning, wherever you are. Thank you, and till tomorrow. Bye.